Hey guys, how's it going? Culprit here, and tonight I wanted to talk about a little bit of an issue that is going to become a bigger issue. It's already been a big issue, going to get bigger as close quarters come closer, and that is suppression. I wanted to have a little bit of a real talk about it, postpartum kind of thing, now that it's been out for a bunch of weeks and we've had time to digest it. I'll first introduce the videos, quick little rush match on Metro. I believe I'm pretty much playing by myself. I know iRage was in here, but I believe he had to leave for some reason or another and couldn't get back in. So I'm basically solo. It's just a quick little match. Again, this is just for background for some of you guys to watch while I talk. So, like I said, I wanted to talk about suppression, and I think I might surprise some of you, some of what I say, but then as I explain it a little more, you'll come to understand what I'm talking about. And like I said, with the close quarters expansion pack coming up, suppression is, to me, is just about the biggest issue out there right now. Confined spaces, confined routes, this huge suppression, it's not going to work, I don't think. Explosives are another concern. Cheese like claymores obviously are. So let me just tell you what I feel, and you guys tell me how you feel in comments, and we'll get a dialogue on this. I don't hate the concept of suppression. I actually like it as a concept. I genuinely do. I think it adds a layer of tactics to a gunfight. I use it as a tool a lot to either avoid a gunfight or to pin people down, that kind of thing. I fire a lot of times without any intention of killing somebody. It's more to cover my movement or a squad mate's movement, or to just, you know, if I see a squad mate run around a corner, I know it's hot, I'll shoot around the corner as best I can just to try and help him, give him an edge. And because of this, I feel like it really does add a tool to the thinking player's arsenal. You know, to people like us that think about tactics, think about strategy. I think that is another check mark in our column to help us. So I don't think it's bad. I don't hate it like a lot of people do. I actually like the concept. My problem is with DICE's execution. I have one big issue with it, and basically I don't mind the blurring of the screen. I think that's fine. My big issue is the randomness of your accuracy. Okay, when you are suppressed right now, obviously everybody knows about the screen blur. You know, a lot of things, you know, makes it really hard to see, obviously, but it also causes your gun to just go fire randomly. You can literally be laying prone, covering a doorway, you know, crosshairs, dead center mass of a doorway. You're 10-15 feet from that doorway, excuse me, and a guy can come busting through, say with an LMG, and just firing anywhere, and you're immediately, first of all, you are immediately suppressed, and then you could try to return fire, and he's literally standing in that doorway 10 feet away, your center mass, and your bullets will not hit him. You're firing into a very small kill box. You have position, you're playing right. You call it camping, that's fine. You probably are, but in this scenario you're playing it right, and your bullets will not hit him. You won't get a hit marker, and that's the problem. Okay, I have randomness should never be in any skill-based game. It kills skill. Random kills skill. Okay, everything being equal, the better player should always win. Now we know everything is pretty much never equal. There's surprise, there's, you know, teammates, there's elements from around you, there's cover, there's just so many different variables. But in an experiment type situation, everything being equal, skill should always win. We don't see that on Battlefield, and suppression is a major factor in that. You know, with suppression, your aim goes random. You can't compensate for that. So it comes down to usually who fires first gets that lucky bullet, or just, you know, gets that extra hit marker that gets them the kill. That's what it comes down to typically, and that's terrible for a game like Battlefield 3 where there's so much skill involved, mentally and physically, and twitch skills and aim, that they introduce an element that just totally negates all that. So my biggest gripe with the whole scenario is the randomness. Obviously, you know, screen blur. You want to blur my screen? That's fine. I think that actually translates fine to suppression, because as you're being suppressed, you're not peeking your head out. You're not getting that visual. So sure, blur my screen. I have no problem with that. You want to make sounds go away, things like that. Yes, but don't make my guns defy physics. You know, when I point the gun, the bullets still need to go where my barrel is pointed. I can't put my barrel on the guy's chest and one bullet goes 3 feet to the left, the next bullet goes 3 feet to the right. I can't compensate for that. You know, don't mess with my gun's accuracy. That is the bread and butter of this game. That is where all the skill lies mostly. You can't make that random. I don't know how they thought that would work. You want to add some more recoil, that's fine. I can learn to control and counter that. But when my barrel is one way and bullets go left and then way right, and I can't counter it, it removes all skill from that gunfight. And that's not what we want. We want a game that requires more skill. You know, I'm going to run across guys that are better than me. I should die to them. Now, again, I'm not saying every time concrete rule, but I'm saying in a perfect scenario where everything's equal, we meet in a gunfight, that's how it should be. You know, paper, rock, scissors type of thing. But Suppression just throws a total monkey wrench in that. And it just brings so much luck and so much randomness in that it just really kills a game like Battlefield 3 in my mind. So for me, if they take the random accuracy out, blur the hell out of my screen, because, you know, I could still position-wise, and I know locations on the map, I would be able to shoot through that blurriness. Then it's on me to get my crosshairs on that guy with blurred vision. I can do that. I can learn that. I can counter that, and that's where even more skill takes effect. Add recoil, I can learn to control that. You know, then it's on the player to be better. But with this randomness, it's completely out of my hands. You cannot counter this. You cannot learn it. You cannot be effective with it. You just spray and pray just like everybody else. So I think they need to remove the random accuracy hits from Suppression, and it could be really good. It could be, you know, as you've seen it already. People have already learned how to use it. You know, the cries for removing it have died down. People have got, I mean, it's still bad, and I still want it removed, like I said, the randomness. But, you know, people are already adapting. I just feel like it takes a lot of the skill element out of the game. So good players will learn to shoot and fight through it, and that's how it should be. If it's just blurriness, maybe a little more recoil, something with sound, whatever it might be, good players will adapt. They'll get to right back to where they were, and that's how it should be. And they'll learn to use it as a tool. So it will affect their accuracy because they can't see, but the gun it won't defy physics, and that's the bottom line for me. If they would do this, I'd be more than happy with it. Let me know how you guys feel. I'd really like to hear your comments. Like always, a like always helps me out, and thanks for listening, guys. Take care. Have a good night.